furious, he swore he himself would punish this criminal and restore their land. Isis then showed her true form and revealed the gods had been listening. Ra was finally convinced Horus deserved to rule, and Seth was exiled from the Nile Valley and forced into the wastelands of the desert. Seth's transformation. From the time of the New Kingdom onwards, Seth was usually regarded as a villain. In the early dynastic period Peribsen, the Second Dynasties, c. 2890 to c. 2670 BCE, 6th king, chose Seth for his patron god. Peribsen remains the sole early dynastic period king to align with Seth rather than Horus. Given Seth was originally a god hero, it is logical that a pharaoh would select him as his patron. However, by Peribsen's time, Horus was associated with the throne, not Seth. One probable explanation is Peribsen, who hailed from Upper Egypt, selected Seth for his personal patron in preference to Horus, who was linked with Lower Egypt around this time. Peribsen remains the sole pharaoh to clearly align himself with Seth until Sethi 1290–1279 BCE, and his son Ramesses II, 1279–1213 BCE, of the 19th dynasty, who anointed Seth a national god and built the Seth-Hermeru temple complex in Seth's honor. Seth's role. When Ramesses II opted to elevate Seth, the cult of Osiris and Isis was widespread, and Seth had metamorphosed from a hero protector and the god of love, into a malefactor who represented everything Egyptians feared: chaos, destruction, disorder, drought, hunger, famine and foreign influences. Carvings showing Ramesses II's coronation depict both Horus and Seth officiating over the ceremony. Eventually, however, Seth became so indelibly associated with his actions as a usurper and vile murderer that the god of writing and wisdom, Thoth, replaced him in these inscriptions. Seth's continued popularity reflects the Egyptians' desire for harmony and balance as symbolized by Mat. Mat symbolized balance and harmony and was a core part of most Egyptian social values and permeated even into their vision of the afterlife. Here the deceased's heart was weighed on golden scales against the white feather of Mat. Egypt's god of life and fertility Osiris needed a counterweight, and Seth, the god of chaos and destruction. Even in his destructive aspect, Seth was seen as beneficial as he voluntarily restrained drought and his dry desert winds from assailing Egypt's fertile lands. Prayers to Seth seeking deliverance from his own forces replaced earlier love amulets. Seth's cult worship was centered from the early dynastic period in Ombos. However, temples dedicated to him could be found throughout Egypt. The priests of Seth cared of his sacred statue in his temple's inner sanctum. They performed the day-to-day rituals and maintained the sprawling temple complex. People petitioning Seth for assistance were confined to the outer courtyard, where they left donations or made requests for help from the priests. These requests ranged from financial or medical help to marital advice to officiating at festivals, funerals or weddings. Seth was absorbed into early Christian mythology as the devil. Seth's association with wickedness and darkness, his popular image as a red-haired beast together with the color red, were readily adaptable to the Christian Satan's iconography. Seth's connection with cunning, deceit, destruction, war and a close association with the serpent contributed to casting the Christian mythology around a supernatural deceiver who swore perpetual antipathy with God. Reflecting on the past, the evolution of Seth provides a fascinating window onto the changes that took place in ancient Egypt's belief system over the long course of their history.